except those exist in a world populated by cars. Now, I didn't think I would find a reason to include Rocky in another review, but people have been comparing this movie to one of the Rocky movies. I wouldn't know. I've only seen the first one, but they've been bringing up Rocky, so I've found a reason to bring Rocky into another one. Anyway, I can't really talk about this without at least a little bit talking about Cars 2. Cars 2 is good. It isn't the greatest sequel. It doesn't live up to Pixar greatness, but it still leaps and bounds better than just about anything anything made by a non-Pixar production company. I look at everything from DreamWorks for the past 15 years. None of them measure up. Anyway, this is a better sequel than Cars 2 was, in the sense that it really is a much more natural continuation of the story set off in the first movie. There are some themes left over in Cars that they didn't really finish up on, that are sort of in the background, so it's okay that they didn't finish up on, which were very natural to continue here. And they're actually to be expected. In sports stories, there are certain narratives that you will inevitably come across, and this is one of those inevitable narratives within a sports story. Point is, okay, you know what? I could review this in just a few seconds. If you've seen the trailer, and I didn't even see the trailer, all I needed to see was that poster. Just that poster tells you everything you need to know, and you know exactly what you're going to get when you have this movie. It's well directed, it's beautifully animated, and it has a great Randy Newman score. He's the OG composer for Pixar, and I absolutely love that old classic Pixar feel. So to have that sort of Randy Newman jazzy music that gives you a sense of discovery, I love it, and so it really contributed to this film. Some fans of Cars 2 have said that that this isn't quite as fun as Cars 2, and I will give them that. If you want to say that it isn't as fun as Cars 2, that is a criticism you can have of this film, but overall it's a much smaller film than Cars 2. It rolls things back, takes things sort of back to the roots, and it makes it a pretty simple sports story. And you know where it's going. It's a fairly predictable narrative, but then again, so was the first Cars. And the point is not whether or not it's predictable, it's whether or not you're really satisfied with the story. And I think they tell them in a very satisfying way. It is a bit of a tear-jerker. There are moments where I'm like, I'm not gonna cry, I'm not gonna cry, I'm not gonna cry. It got me pretty close. So far, the only Pixar film to get me to cry has been Toy Story 3. Because I have a resolve never to cry during the movies, because I'm one of those cheap, shallow, manly men, I guess. I watched it with my sister. She's very satisfied with it, thinks it's a great movie, and you're rooting for McQueen because he already is mature. You see how he matured in the first movie, and all that maturity carries over, and he sees how he's matured even a little bit more. He's a good sportsman, he has a good attitude, he's nice to all the people around him, but there are some areas in which he still needs to grow up a little bit. And these are matters of maturity that he wouldn't have had to deal with earlier on. But at this particular stage in his life and his career, it makes more sense for him to be dealing with these matters of character development. So, nothing else I have to say. It's good. It continues on a natural narrative from the first movie, which is what kind of makes it a great film. And this is what made Toy Story 2, for example, a great movie. Because Toy Story 2 very naturally continued on with themes hinted at in the first movie, or that were implicit, and used the same characters and also kept things from the same point of view throughout the trilogy. Toy Story 2 is like one of the rare 100% on Rotten Tomato movies. And this isn't a 100% on Rotten Tomatoes movie. It's currently somewhere around 70-something%. I think it deserves to be 80-something%, maybe even 90% something. I think it's much better than what some critics are giving it credit for, and definitely a lot better than what the internet critics are giving it credit for. I think it's good. I'm enthusiastic about it. I just might watch it again. I really enjoy it. Boy, it gets me in the mood for the first one, actually, because it holds Paul Newman in quite a bit of reverence. And that makes me want to go watch the first one all over again just to watch Paul Newman's last role. And I already liked the first one. I like it even more. I'm now considering it one of Pixar's great movies, actually. So, that's where I'm at after watching this movie. How about you, Rocky? Huh? What do you think? What do you think? Come on, come on. You like sports stories, don't you? Don't you? This is a sports movie. This is a straight-up sports movie. Yes, you do like it, Rocky. Don't you? You like it. Oh, yes, yes, you do. Yes, you do. Rocky says that the movie is 4 out of 5 stars.
Ka-chow!